Okay, so today we're on part 7 of the Wonderkids after 10 years. And yeah, we have another list of 10 players to look at. I did recently just share the save file on my part 1 of this series, so if you want to go back and go to the comment section in that, it will be in one of the Go files that I replied to some of the comments with, which will allow you to access this file. But yeah, let's get into this video. So the first player we're going to look at is Bynoe-gittens. I believe he's at Dortmund in real life, or is he at Man City? No, he's at Dortmund, yeah. Okay, so he's now 27 years old in this save. He's made 9 appearances for the English national team. It says he can play left wing or right wing. And he can play striker if you want, but I think he's better left wing or right wing since he's only 5'9". He's on 600k a week at Real Madrid, which is nuts. His transfer value is anywhere between 30 to 90 million pounds. His current ability is 165, which makes him a world-class winger. He's described by the media as a elite winger as well. His physicals are pretty nice. He's got 17 acceleration, 18 agility, good balance, good natural fitness. Yeah, pretty good pace as well. Decent stamina. He's got good anticipation, good composure, good flair, decent off the ball, could be a bit better, and decent vision. But his mentals are like okay. They definitely could be more well-rounded for sure. There's a lot of 10s, a lot of 8s. You'd want a lot more yellows here, but they're not terrible, to be honest. His technicals are pretty good. Decent taking corners, decent crosser of the ball, very good dribbler, decent finishing, good first touch, can take free kicks for you if you want. His long shots are pretty good. He's good at passing. He's a decent penalty taker, and his technique's like extremely good as well. So let's take a look at his history. So yeah, he ended up going to Dortmund a couple of seasons ago. He ends up becoming a regular starter for them pretty much. Makes 25 appearances, 5 being subs. 30 appearances next season with 2 sub appearances. And he averages a 7.6 rating that season, which is pretty nuts. He gets 10 player of the matches, which is insane. 9 goals, 9 assists. The season before that he gets 9 goals, 2 assists. In his third season at Dortmund, he ends up getting a 7.3 rating with 5 goals, 4 assists, makes 22 starts in the Bundesliga. The season after that he makes 30 starts in the Bundesliga, gets 9 goals, 7 assists, 7 player of the matches, with an average rating of 7.55, which is pretty nuts actually. Like that's actually pretty insane. The season after that he only plays 14 games, I assume. Yeah, he gets bought in January, pretty much. He gets bought in January by Real Madrid, so yeah, he only makes 14 starts for Dortmund that season, 5 goals, 2 assists with a 7.64 rating, which is nuts. So yeah, he gets bought in January by Real Madrid for £76 million, makes 14 appearances for them, scores 6 goals, 2 assists with a 7.4 rating practically. The season after that, he starts 20 times in the league for Real Madrid. Scores 8 goals, gets 6 assists with 5 player of the matches, with a 7.73 rating, which is pretty that's nuts. The season after that, he starts 25 times in the league for Real Madrid, scores 10 goals, gets 3 assists with 4 player of the matches. And I mean, 10 goals, 3 assists in 25 starts. That's pretty nuts. He gets a 7.62 rating. The season after that, I'm assuming he was injured the entire season because he literally doesn't have a game. He played in pre-season, yeah. Played in pre-season, maybe played in like the World Cup, if that was what that is. Yeah, the season after that he makes 7 appearances, 2 goals, and gets a 7.3 rating. He must have had like a terrible injury. But I mean, as you can see, his ratings are extremely high. From times at Dortmund to the times at Real Madrid. He's been a regular starter before, I'm assuming he got injured. Yeah, I mean, clearly his ratings are insane, and he's a world-class winger for sure. The next player we're going to look at is Destiny Udogie. He's a left back. He's 29 years old in this save now. He's made 21 appearances for the Italian national team. Can play left wing back as well. He's on 180k a week at RB Leipzig, which is kind of nuts. His transfer value is anywhere between 45 to 136 million pounds. He is 6'2", which is pretty tall for a left back. It's quite nice. He's extremely fast, extremely agile for someone that's 6'2". He's got really good balance, good jumping reach as well, really good natural fitness, really fast, really good stamina, really good work rate, really good vision, really good defensive positioning, like okay teamwork. It's not bad, to be honest. He's really good off the ball as well. Decent flair, good decision maker, really good concentration, okay composure. He's reasonably brave, really good anticipation, which is good for your interceptions, and can start a counter attack really well. That's really nice. His crossing's really good, his dribbling's really good, his first touch is really good. His heading's pretty good, which for a left back that's quite nice. He's got a really good jumping reach with, like, he's pretty tall, and he's a good header of the ball, so that's just quite nice to have in a wing back. His long shots are pretty decent as well. He's got good long throws. I mean, he's like an extremely well-rounded player. He's kind of got everything that you want. He's decent marking, really good passer of the ball, pretty decent tackler, and really good technique. His current ability is 168, which makes him, yeah, a world-class left back. Definitely one of the best left backs in the save. He's only described as an attacking fullback. I thought it'd be like a world-class fullback, but I mean, his stats are extremely well-rounded, really nice physicals, pretty good mentals, and extremely nice technicals. And there's some stats that are just like random, but they're nice. Like his long throws are really nice. His heading for a left back's pretty nice, which pairs up with his jumping reach and height. And yeah, his long throws, long shots, pretty nice. But yeah, so at the save, he is at I believe isn't he at Tottenham? I think he's at Tottenham in real life. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah. So anyway, for Tottenham, he ends up starting 13 games, 16 times he came off the bench here, with a 6.7 rating. But he's still extremely young. The season after that, he doesn't really get a chance. The season after that, he also doesn't really get a chance. He then moves to RB Leipzig for £30 million. He makes 31 starts for them with a 7.3 rating. So like as soon as he actually gets given a chance, I mean, he gets a 7.3 rating, which is pretty nuts. The season after that, he starts 32 games for Leipzig, gets a 7.2 rating, so it's pretty consistent. The season after that, he starts 33 times, gets a 7.36 rating. Season after that, it's 33 again, with 7.53 rating, sorry, with 8 player of the matches from left back, which is pretty nuts. Yeah, that's pretty insane. He gets 8 and then 7 the season before. He might be their best player then. The season after that, he makes 33 starts again, gets 3 goals. I mean, he got 5 goals from like left back, which is pretty nice. 3 goals, 5 assists, 7.27 rating, and the final season he gets 31 starts, 3 goals, 6 assists, with a 7.45 rating. But yeah, so he's a world-class left back for sure, one of the best left backs in the save. His average ratings, as soon as he got given a chance by Leipzig, clearly he's extremely consistent in this save at least. He is fully developed, and once fully developed, his stat spread is extremely nice in this save. His physicals are insane, to be honest. Technicals, yeah, are pretty nice. But yeah, he's a world-class left back that you might be able to pick up for a decent price, since Leipzig ended up getting him for £30 million, like 4 years into the save. The next player we're going to look at is Liel Abada. He's 30 years old in this save now. He's made 83 appearances for the Israeli national team, scoring 15 goals. Says he can play right wing. He is on 275k a week at Barcelona, with a transfer value of anywhere between 48 to 143 million pounds. His physicals are quite nice. He's pretty fast, very agile, got good balance, good natural fitness, decent stamina. His work rate isn't the highest, but it's not terrible. His vision's really good, his off the ball movement's really good, his leadership's quite good, extremely good decision making, pretty good concentration, composure, really good anticipation, really good cross of the ball, good dribbler, good finisher, good first touch. His long shots are okay, his passing's okay, penalty taking's not bad, his technique's pretty decent as well. But yeah, this is pretty nuts, 'cause I think he starts at Celtic, right? Yeah. Ends up getting bought by Barcelona for £53 million, and Celtic bought him for 3.6. That's a pretty nuts profit. But yeah, so his current ability is 159, which makes him pretty much like a world-class winger. And I'm using at Barcelona, right? But yeah, so at Celtic, he starts 32 games in the league, gets a 7.33 rating, 13 goals, 8 assists. The season after that, 37 starts, 14 goals, 8 assists, with a 7.5 rating, which is pretty nuts. But I mean, it is in the Scottish League, so it's not really not crazy. The next season, he gets bought by Barcelona in January, I'm going to assume. Because he makes 20 starts for Celtic this season, scoring 4 goals, 12 assists, with a 7.9 rating, which is nuts. But yeah, so he gets bought by Barcelona halfway through that season. Gets 17 starts for them, instantly becomes a starter pretty much, which is quite nuts. Scores 7 goals with a average rating of 7.27, which is pretty good, especially considering he just joined them. The season after that, he makes 19 starts, scoring 7 goals, 3 assists with a 7.2 rating. The season after that, he makes 13 starts, so he's not really given that much game time, to be fair. Or he doesn't start that much, but like when he does, clearly he's impacting the game. So he had 13 starts this season, scores 4 goals, 5 assists. Like that's pretty nuts. Gets a 7.46 rating. The season after that, he gets 33 starts, scores 13 goals, 4 assists with a 7.43 rating. I mean, yeah, he just becomes a regular starter for Barcelona. Pretty consistent, scores 9 goals, 10 goals, 12, 13. With a okay amount of assists as well. With his rating only kind of like it's gradually like it's just very consistent. 7.48, 7.45 and 7.44. He's just a very consistent player. And yeah, he's a world class player that Barcelona managed to pick up for £53 million. I think that if you do go in for him during the first season, I don't think he should be that much money, to be honest. I think he'd be like 20 million. I don't think he is actually that price, but yeah, he's definitely a very good player that develops extremely well. The next player we're going to look at is Malik Thiaw. He is 30 years old in the save now. He is on 220k a week at Arsenal, with a transfer value of anywhere between 77 to 232 million pounds. He is 6'4", with a very good jumping reach, pretty good heading, so that makes him, yeah, he's just a very nice centre back already, just based off them stats alone. He's pretty fast, pretty agile, got good balance, yeah, insane jumping reach, really good natural fitness, and yeah, decent stamina, decent strength, decent pace. He's got really good vision, really good positioning, pretty good leadership, pretty good decision making. Concentration's nuts, composure's pretty good, anticipation and aggression also pretty good. His first touch is good. He's a pretty good dribbler as well. Yeah, good at heading, good at marking, good at passing, good at tackling, good at technique. And yeah, he's definitely a solid ball playing defender with everything that you actually need. It's like he's a ball playing defender whilst also having 17 jumping reach, 13 heading, and he's 6'4". His passing is 14, his vision is 14, and his technique's 13. So and his like dribbling is 12. So yeah, he's just like an outstanding ball playing defender for sure. His current ability is 159, which makes him a world class centre back. So I'm pretty sure he starts the save at AC Milan. Doesn't get given a chance there. Gets loaned out to Strasbourg in the French league. Does okay there. Ends up going to Villarreal for around about 18 million pounds. Starts 30 games for them. Gets a just below a 7 rating, but he's still extremely young here. The second season in Spain, he starts all 38 games for Villarreal and gets a 7.1 rating, which isn't bad. He then gets a £48 million move to Arsenal. starts 29 games, gets 7.18 rating. I mean, he's averaging just like a 7.05 or a 7.1 pretty much. It's a 7.3 in one season, which is pretty nice. But I mean, he's just an extremely consistent defender. Clearly, for the last like 6 seasons he's averaged a 7.1 rating pretty much. Being a regular starter for both Villarreal and Arsenal. And I mean, his stats spread are extremely insane. And he might be someone that you can pick up for reasonably cheap, because 2 years into the save, Villarreal end up picking him up for £18 million. So maybe if you can get him for cheap, then I would definitely look at doing that, because yeah, he's a world-class centre-back that is like as much of a good centre-back, like central defender if you want to play him in that role. But he is a like excellent ball-playing defender with everything that you need. So yeah, that is Malik Thior. The next person we're going to look at is Julian Radkoff. He is 27 years old in this save now. He's a striker. He has made 41 appearances for the Dutch national team, scoring 22 goals. He's on 185k a week, at Bayern Munich, with a transfer value of anywhere between 49 to 147 million pounds. He's decently fast, really agile. He's got good balance, really good natural fitness, really good pace, good stamina, good strength. He's 6 foot tall, a little bit aggressive. He's got good anticipation, really good composure, really good decision making, really good flair, really good off the ball movement, which is really nice. His vision's okay, that could be better, but it's not terrible. He's a really good dribbler of the ball, really good finishing, really good first touch, good heading, good long shots, quite good passing, really good penalty taker, and really good technique. His current ability is 156. He didn't fully develop, because in the save he has a potential of 165, but he never reached that. But he did still reach 156, which makes him like a pretty solid player. Like for sure, he's still world class. So yeah, he starts off at Dortmund B team pretty much. Doesn't really get given a chance at Dortmund, gets loaned out to Arminia Bielefeld in the second tier of Germany. Then comes back to Dortmund, makes 21 sub appearances, scoring 4 goals, 1 assist. The second season there, he makes 22 appearances as a sub again, scoring 6 goals. In his last season at Dortmund, he makes 24 sub appearances again, scoring 4 goals, 1 assist. So yeah, he was never really given a chance at Dortmund. He then gets bought by Hoffenheim for 20 million. He starts all 34 games and scores 19 goals, which is a pretty good return in my opinion. For like not a crazy good team. 2027 wasn't it? For a team that came like 8th that season. Was it 8th? No. So it's this one. Okay, so they came 5th. The season before they came 8th. But I mean, like, they're not a crazy team. He got 19 goals in 34 games, which I think is pretty good. With a 7.09 rating. In his second season, he did get bought by Bayern Munich. I was going to say, like, why has he only made that? But in his 3 games that he played for Hoffenheim before getting bought, he did score 3 goals, which is pretty nice, with a 7.3 rating. But yeah, so he got bought by Bayern Munich for 29, let's just say £30 million, might as well. He starts 23 games for them, scoring 12 goals, 5 assists, which is pretty good. He gets a 7.36 rating. The season after that, he starts only 17 games, scores 12 goals and 2 assists, which is pretty good because he only started 17. Gets a 7.25 rating. The season after that, he only starts 11 games, gets 10 games off the bench as a sub. He scores 9 goals, gets 1 assist, with a 7.26 rating. And in his final season, he has started 22 games. He scored 14 goals, got 2 assists with a 7.33 rating. So yeah, clearly he's quite a consistent player that moves around the German league in this save. And Dortmund actually ended up picking him up for a free. That's pretty nice from my end. But yeah, so he's a player that develops extremely well. Somebody that you might be able to get for quite cheap, considering Dortmund end up letting him go for £21 million, and Bayern end up buying him for 30, like 6 years on. So maybe this is a player that you can get for reasonably cheap, player that becomes a world-class striker, and And he's just an extremely well-rounded player, and he's pretty consistent in the save. Once given a chance, for sure. He develops extremely well. The next player we're going to look at is Bynoe-gittens, or Tenyas. He's now 31 years old in this save, and has made 5 appearances for the Spanish national team. He's a goalkeeper. He's on 145k a week at Arsenal, with a transfer value of anywhere between 53 to 158 million pounds. His aerial reach is nice, command of area, communication, first touch, which is really nice. His handling's really good, his kicking's really good, he's really good at one-on-ones, good passer of the ball, good reflexes, good throwing, pretty good vision as well, good positioning, really good leadership, which is nice. He's got good decision making, concentration, composure, okay anticipation, really agile, pretty decent acceleration, good jumping reach, good balance. Okay strength, could be a little bit higher, but that's kind of fine. He is only 6'1", which isn't extremely high, but it's not terrible. But yeah, so he is a world-class goalkeeper, reaching a current ability of 160 in this save. And he is right-footed. So yeah, he starts off at Barcelona B, plays a couple seasons for them, not doing amazingly, but then gets a move to Granada for 220k, which is pretty insane. So yeah, you might be able to get this guy for like a really good price, clearly. So he plays for Granada for 3 seasons in the second tier of Spain, still developing, still extremely young, before moving to Monaco for £4.4 million, like 4 years into the save. So I mean, like, yeah, I think you can just get this price for this guy for a decent price for sure, and he becomes a world-class goalkeeper. So yeah, goes to Monaco for 5 seasons and gets a 7.5 rating in his first season, but he did only make 3 appearances. In his second season, he gets a 7 rating, which is still like, that's pretty good. The season after that, he starts all 33 games, only conceded 18 goals in those 33, with a 7.2 rating. The season after that, he starts all 33, gets a 6.93 rating with 10 clean sheets. His last season at Monaco, he concedes 30 goals in 34, with 16 clean sheets, with a just below 7 rating. And he goes to Arsenal for £82 million. With 13 clean sheets, conceded 41 in 38, with a 6.8 rating. But I mean, he's a world-class goalkeeper that I assume you can get for pretty cheap, because Granada end up picking him up for 220k, and then later on Monaco end up picking up for £4.4 million. So yeah, he might be someone that you can pick up for a reasonably good price, and becomes a world-class goalkeeper. The next person we're going to look at is Giorgio Scalvini. He is now 28 years old in this save, and has made 20 appearances for the Italian national team at centre-back. He is on 105k a week at AC Milan, with his transfer value being anywhere between 28 to 85 million pounds. He's, yeah, okay, this guy is already like nice. I don't even have to look at much, but this guy's really nice. So one of the key things is jumping reach at 17, whilst being 6'5", and his heading's 13. He's pretty fast as well, pretty good balance, really good natural fitness, really good stamina, really good strength, really good anticipation, concentration, decent composure. He's got pretty good defensive positioning, teamwork, really good at tackling, really good at marking, good passer of the ball, good header of the ball, which links up with his jumping reach and height. First touch is pretty good, and his dribbling is pretty good. This guy would be a completely fine ball-playing defender, and would be one of the best centre-backs in the game for sure. His vision is 12, his technique's 12, his passing is 12, whilst his dribbling is 11 as well, which like really nice for a centre-back. Whilst being 6'5", with an extremely good jumping reach, and he's a good header of the ball. So that just makes him an extremely dominant centre-back. His current ability is 150, which makes him a leading Serie A centre-back. He starts the save off at Atalanta before going to Man United for £22 million, where he gets 12 starts and averages a 7.2 rating. The season after that, he makes 16 starts and 12 off the bench, which is a bit nuts that you make you sub on a centre back 12 times. That's interesting. But yeah, so he gets a 6.8 rating at Man United in his second season, which isn't great. Before going to Leipzig for £40 million, pretty much. He instantly starts all 34 games for them, gets a 7 rating. In his second season, he only makes 19 appearances because he gets bought by Newcastle in January. But he averages a 7.05 rating for Leipzig before he leaves. At Newcastle, he doesn't really get given a chance and doesn't do well when he did. That's really weird. So yeah, he makes 9 starts for Newcastle with a 6.64 rating, which isn't very good. Then gets 1 game, 3 games, and like nothing. Really gets bought by AC Milan for £16.5 million, where he starts 5 games. No, starts 3 actually. Gets a 7.2 rating. In his second season, he starts 2 games, has 7 appearances off the bench, and gets a 7.3 rating. And now in his latest season, he has started all 36 games with a 7.09 rating. And I mean, I'm very surprised this guy doesn't get a chance at his previous teams, because his stats are insane. Yeah, I mean, his jumping reach is nuts, his strength's good, his stamina's good, natural fitness is good, he's like relatively fast, he's 6'5", decent vision, very good tackling, very good marking. So yeah, I'm very surprised that he doesn't regularly start at the previous clubs he's at. And like I said, yeah, he's a leading Serie A player. You might be able to get this guy for a decent price, because in the second season, Man United ended up getting him for £22 million, which I don't think's bad for sure. He ends up becoming a world-class defender, and definitely a top ball-playing defender. So if you do have this kind of money, then he's someone that I would definitely look into buying. The next person we're going to look at is Piero Hincapié. He's currently at the he was at the World Cup for Ecuador went out, and he was doing pretty decently. He's 30 years old now in this save, and has made 108 appearances for the Ecuadorian national team. As a centre back, he's on 125k a week at Bynoe-gittens with a potential value of 73 to 220 million pounds. He is pretty fast, pretty agile. He's got good balance, decent jumping reach, yeah, decent pace, decent stamina, like very good stamina actually. 6 foot. His defensive positioning is extremely good. His vision is really nice for a centre back. Work rate's okay. Decision making is really good. Concentration's pretty good. Composure's decent. His aggression's okay. He's a really good dribbler of the ball. He's got a really good first touch, really good header, decent long shots. Oh, long throws, I mean, sorry. He's good at marking, good at passing, good at tackling. He's got very good technique. So yeah, yet again, he would be a very good ball-playing defender. And he reaches a leading Bundesliga level with a 156 current ability. And he does stay at Bynoe-gittens his entire career, which is pretty nuts. And starts like pretty much every game for them, every season. And yeah, he averages like a 7.1 rating, pretty much. But I mean, he stays at Bynoe-gittens his entire career, and is a regular starter for them. And I mean, he's a quality centre back for sure. I don't know how much he would cost. Like, I assume it'd be quite a decent price. But I mean, if you're a big club with a lot of money, then I don't think this will be an issue for a player that becomes extremely good and extremely well-rounded player. The next person we're going to look at is Arsene Zakarian. He's 29 years old in this save. He's made 4 appearances for the Russian national team. He can play centre midfield, attacking midfield, or on the wings, but he prefers the centre of the pitch for sure. He's on 150k a week at Manchester City, with a potential value of 59 to 178 million pounds. His acceleration's pretty decent. He's very agile. He's got a good jumping reach. Yeah, good pace, decent stamina. He's got extremely good vision, extremely good off the ball movement. He's got good flair, really good decision making, decent concentration, really good composure, really good anticipation, which is really nice. He's really good at taking corners, he's got decent crossing, good dribbler of the ball. He's got good finishing, a really good first touch, he's good at taking free kicks, really good long shots, really good pass of the ball, decent penalty taker, and really good technique. And yeah, he's just a world-class player, reaching a current ability of 163 in this save. So he does start off at Dynamo Moscow in this save. Does okay for them during his like 5 or 4 seasons that he ends up staying from the current year. Gets a £27 million move to Porto, where he starts 32 games, scoring 2 goals, getting 8 assists. In his second season there, he starts 27 games, gets 7 goals, 6 assists with a 7.3 rating, which is really nice. In his third year, he gets bought by Manchester City, but before he does, he gets 2 assists in 5 games. But yeah, so he gets bought by Manchester City for £53 million. He starts 8 games for them in this season with 16 sub-appearances, scoring 4 goals, 1 assist. In his second season, he starts 4 games, gets 12 sub-appearances, scoring 1 goal, 1 assist. He then makes 16 appearances, 11 sub-appearances off the bench with 7 goals, 1 assist, 7.2 rating, which is pretty nice. And in his final season here, he has made 16 starts and 10 appearances off the bench, scoring 4 goals. But yeah, I mean, he was a world-class player with a 163 current ability that you might be able to get for pretty cheap, to be honest, because he doesn't get bought in this save for 4 years, and when he does, it's £26 million. So maybe during the first 3 or 4 seasons, you could get him for a reasonably cheap price for a player that does develop extremely well into a world-class player, world-class midfielder that, you know, in the saves end up at Manchester City and Porto, who are also a Champions League team. So yeah, I mean, you might be able to get this guy for pretty cheap, and he is a extremely good player. And the last player we're going to look at is Anders Borstedt. I've actually bought this guy in 2 of my saves. Those saves haven't developed fully yet. I haven't played much in those saves, so I haven't like got experience of playing with him that much. But yeah, I'll see how he does in my saves. But this guy I got for extremely cheap. I'm pretty sure you can get him for cheap. I mean, in 2 seasons into the future, Club Brugge end up buying him for £3.9 million in this save, so that kind of gives you an idea of how cheap you can get him for. I also got him for, I think I got him for cheaper than that in a couple of my saves. But yeah, so he can play centre back or left back. I think I preferred him at left back during my saves, and I developed his crossing pretty much straight away. But yeah, so he's made 69 appearances for the Norwegian national team. He's still only 26 years old now. He's on 110k a week at Bynoe-gittens with a transfer value of anywhere between 58 to 175 million pounds. He's got decent acceleration, decent agility, good balance, a good jumping reach, good pace, good stamina, good strength, really good vision, really good defensive positioning, okay off the ball movement, okay leadership, really good decision making, good concentration, really good composure, really good anticipation. He's got good first touch, good heading, really good marking. He's got nice long throws as well. Decent passer of the ball, decent tackler, and he's got decent technique. And for someone that reaches a current ability of 146, which in my save he's actually higher than that, but so he becomes a regular starter for a top tier team or a top division team. But for someone you can get for £3.9 million, which I think you can actually get him for cheaper, because this is like 2 years down the line, he becomes a very solid, well-rounded player. That in my save I developed him as more of a left back. I instantly started developing his crossing, which is, I mean, his crossing's like pretty low in this save, right? But if in your save you do develop that, I think obviously he will have higher than 9, which isn't great, but yeah. So in my save he is definitely better than this. But for someone that you can get for extremely cheap, this is someone that becomes extremely well-rounded. And if you are on a budget, you're a lower level club, this is someone that will improve you a lot, and you can get for very cheap. But yeah, so that is the 10 people that we are looking at this video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. If there are any specific players you want me to look at in future videos, then leave it in the comments. I did in my last video I did in this series, I did get comments of people you want me to look at. I'm going to do that in the next video. It's just because I already had this list of 10 players done before that I didn't do that. But in the next video I will be looking at like Yasser Asprilla, I think it's like Alfie Divine or something. I can't remember who it was, but there was like somebody left a comment and want me to take a look at a few players, so I will do that in the next video for you. But yeah, if there is anybody else that people want me to look at, then leave it in the comments and I will do it in upcoming videos for sure, because I enjoy doing these kind of videos where I'm just looking at players in the future. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time.